when you're activated in your fear all the time, that's when other people can control you. They can say, don't be afraid. I've got a solution here, 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 right? I mean, that's really the thing, right? Being afraid is being controlled. Being in positivity, being in joy is actually the radical move. And welcome to Delusional. I am your host, Michelle Coyle, and today we have a very special episode because I have no guest. It is just me and my nerves, straight to camera, straight to you. And I am supposed to be doing a hook right now, right? Like something that's going to enrage you or just get you really riveted in, because that's how the internet works. But like, I don't want to piss you off. I want to inspire you and encourage you and enlighten you and get you empowered and shit. So like, if you want to be mad about something, go click somewhere else. There's plenty of places on the internet to do it. I'd really rather have like 5 people listen to this and be high vibe than get like 5 million people listening to this pissed off. That's just who I am. That's what I'm about. Anyway, what am I doing today? I am here to tell you about the delusional movement that we are building, because the podcast was really just the first step to this whole thing. And it's time to start building the rest. And it's time to start bringing you in on a little bit of what's going on. So I'm going to be talking to you today about the delusional movement, why I'm building it, what it is, how you can get more involved if that's something you want to do. So let's get into it. So, okay, why delusional? Like, what was the whole concept behind delusional? I started to notice about a year ago how just shut down and contracted everybody and everything was getting. Now, I live in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. I live in Alexandria, Virginia, and it has been a tough year and a half for us here. Just on a personal level, a lot of folks got laid off. My neighbors, we had people where the mom and the dad were both laid off. Doge came through. They eliminated a lot of federal jobs. It was a really scary time. So people got laid off. People who had been working remote for years got called back into the office. I knew people who couldn't find childcare and things like that. It was a huge scramble. And then a lot of other folks who are still employed, but are constantly worried about their jobs. And if you are an energetically sensitive person like me, it has been a weird time to be here because the energy has just been like heavy. A lot of my best friends have actually moved away. Lots of people moving away from DC. The housing market has been so, I could go on and on. It's been a stressful time in DC, and it's been a stressful time everywhere for everybody. We are exposed right now to like all the world's news all at the same time in a way that just has never happened before. And it starts to feel like this is the worst timeline, the darkest timeline. Like we are living through the end times, and it's overwhelming. People are scared, people are shut down. And so what I started to see was everybody's in freeze mode, they're doom scrolling, they're talking to each other about how terrible everything is. And that's like all anybody can talk about. And it just starts to feel like everybody's kind of hanging on by their fingernails, and there is nothing being created or made, right? And this is on purpose, right? So this 24/7 news cycle, it's designed to get eyeballs, just like everything on the internet. Like I said, with rage bait, it's just designed to get eyeballs because we are the product. Our attention is the product. Right now, if you're watching this on YouTube, YouTube is measuring whether you've already clicked off or how many minutes you're watching or whatever, which is why I'm just supposed to be like saying sensationalist shit or flashing my tail. Not really, but like anything to get you to keep watching, right? Because that's the currency now. And so this has created this system where the most divisive content wins, rage bait wins, everybody's just stressed out all the time. And now people are starting to realize that and starting to like bounce off of online at all and any kind of community or connection at all, just being like, I would rather be, home by myself in my sovereignty in my bubble than be in, out in the world, because everything out in the world is hard and scary and bad and designed to stress you out and piss you off. And like, 2 things happening. One, some people are bouncing off. One, some people are staying in, and the people that are staying in are getting more and more and more contracted, right? It's like I'm watching the power just drain out of people. And who is it draining to? Okay. Because this is not an accident, right? This is all by design. Your attention is the product. Your attention is the currency. So this entire architecture is meant to funnel money up to a very few people, right? We talk about techno-feudalism. What does that mean? That means that we are moving toward this system in which a few tech billionaires have siphoned the money and the resources from everybody else, and the rest of us are serfs who are just subscribing to all their shit all the time. And that's how we're getting by, is we're subscribing to their shit, right? So The whole system is designed to make everybody but a few people disempowered, contracted, distracted, depleted, just hanging on, right? Because when we're hanging on, guess what we're doing? We're consuming in order to make ourselves feel better, right? So this is what I'm seeing. We don't own the platforms, we don't own the attention, right? We're just the product. And here we go trying to make ourselves feel better. And so we're all turning into like Wally characters. Right? We're scared, we're exhausted, we're distracted, and scared, exhausted, distracted, contracted people don't create shit, right? We're not competition, we're not starting stuff, we're not taking risks, we're not dreaming, we're not doing so. Like these guys can just take, and they are guys, right? They can just take and extract from the entire population while the rest of us just give it to them. Just scroll. We're not going to be any competition. We're not going to be in trouble. We're just going to be quiet. We're just going to be shut down. We're just going to be at home. I'm not fucking doing it. I want to do something different, right? Here's the part that really gets me because this entire thing is like a lie of hyper independence. Okay. Like, you don't need any people anymore. We have all of your needs here through tech products and subscriptions. Like, you don't need to go get a girlfriend. There's porn, right? You don't need a boyfriend. There's a vibrator. There's a Hitachi, right? Well, I mean, we can make an argument for that one. Like, it's just tech is taking up everything. You don't need to cook. You can order food. You don't need to go out and be with your friends or be in your community. You got Netflix. You can literally just sit on your couch 24/7 and not have to deal with any other people all the time if that's what you want. You can just be constantly entertained. You can be distracted, like I said, like a Wally character, right? While food just arrives to you. And all you have to do to get that is go work and make some money and feed all that money back into that subscription system, right? So many people are just doing shit they hate to pay for their Netflix subscription, their Uber Eats, their alcohol, their weed, whatever, right? And everybody's in this cycle, right? And it feels like, oh, I don't need anybody. I don't need anything because I can just order everything I need. No, no, no. You are now dependent on these tech platforms, right? You're dependent on them. You're dependent on these guys, and $19.99 at a time, $39.99 at a time. Your money goes back out the door. Where, right? I'm watching this happen. It's getting worse and worse. Soon they're going to own the robots that do all the manual labor, right? This is where this is going, right? So what can we do? We can sit around and we can feel like pissed off about it and upset and distracted and contracted, which is what they want. Or we can build something different. What I'm trying to convey with delusional is we don't have to sit around and accept this future that is being put upon us. We can actually create a different future if we want to. Now, the only way to do that is we got to see something different first. We can't build it if we can't imagine it first, right? So I grew up in Oklahoma. Where I grew up, people didn't have a lot of money. Like the richest person in town was like the dentist, right? There was not like hedge fund people walking around, right? It's a nice little army town called Lawton, Oklahoma. And people weren't walking around with a lot of money, but what people did was help each other. If you flew somewhere, somebody came and picked you up from the airport. If you needed to move, your friends all showed up and helped you move. And man, when somebody dies there, like you got people in your house for 3 weeks. I mean, there are just casseroles everywhere. Like you can't even get away from these people. There's a community and it's still like that, right? Like if you're sick, like just soup appears on your porch, right? People help each other because not everyone can't just hire everybody to do everything. So there's this community involvement. I saw the same thing happen here in my neighborhood in Alexandria, Virginia. After everybody got laid off, the Buy Nothing group got really active, and all of a sudden everybody's helping each other. And it went from just, hey, I'm getting rid of some clothes if anybody wants them, to, hey, I made too much dinner and I've got leftovers. If anybody's hungry, come get the leftovers, right? And it was beautiful to see. I started to see this alternate economy forming of people helping each other again, because I've lived in Washington, D.C. for almost 25 years. And when you live in the city, it's just different expectations, right? It's like nobody is picking you up from the airport. You can take a taxi, you can take an Uber, right? Nobody's helping anybody move. Like, there's you need help putting furniture together, like get a TaskRabbit, right? Like there's just like DoorDash the dinner if you're sick. Like you can even DoorDash medication or whatever, right? There's none of this like community involvement anymore. That's not independence though. You know what I mean? That's just dependence on something different. That's just dependence on something faceless. It's dependent on these tech things. It's only profitable for the people at the very top, right? So, what we're building with delusional is actually the beginning of an alternative. Yeah, an alternative economy, if you want to say that, right? That's a big idea, but that's the big vision, right? Imagine an alternative economy where people actually help each other again. That doesn't mean that there's no money exchange. There could be money exchange, but maybe it's like I'm looking to hire somebody in the community before I'm looking to hire some big tech solution to do something. Maybe it looks like, hey, there's some barter going on and we're trading services if both of us are startup entrepreneurs and we're both just trying to get off the ground, right? It's how can we help each other with all the resources we have, not just money. Maybe we're picking up each other up from the airport, maybe literally or maybe, metaphorically, right? But it's like, this is not about going off grid, by the way. Like, this is not like, hey, let's go start a commune in the woods, although, maybe ask me in a couple of years. This is not that for now. Right now, what this is, hey, we can use tech, it's just not going to be the only thing that is connecting us. So this is why in person stuff matters so much. Like I said, there's people that are bouncing off the internet, I think for good reason, going in person. And there is just stuff that happens when we get together, when we're in the room together, that cannot happen online, right? So again, if you're energetically sensitive, if you walk on vibes like I do, when you're in the right room with the right people, with the right vibes, there's just a feeling that you cannot get anywhere else, right? That's real connection, that is real friendship, there's real energetic exchange, real growth that's happening in real time in person, right? Um, Somehow that is now like the radical thing, right? Like COVID just got us so used to everybody being in their own little corners and apart that it's getting hard to just bring people back together again. I think that's going to be a really important component. So we'll talk about it in a second. I do want to talk about the positivity piece. Like, why joy? Why positivity? Why high vibration? I think this is so important and so key. And it's one that we lose the thread of a lot, right? Remember that contraction is control. When you are scared, because that's really what it comes down to is fear. So when you're activated in your fear all the time, that's when other people can control you. They can say, don't be afraid. I've got a solution here, 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 right? I mean, that's really the thing, right? Being afraid is being controlled. Being in positivity, being in joy is actually the radical move. Now, I come out of the progressive political movement. Some of you guys know that. There used to be a lot of themes about radical joy from marginalized communities, et cetera, why that was so important. I think that is still so important for all of us, right? If I can sit in my joy no matter what is going on, it doesn't matter what's going on. If we're all feeling joyous, they can't control us with fear and contraction. So I want you to be thinking about that as we talk about the rest of this. Because sometimes when I bring up positivity, high vibe, joy, people start talking about, oh, toxic positivity, oh, spiritual bypassing. Okay, let me tell you the difference, right? Toxic positivity is like dissociation. That's like saying, oh, there's nothing to see here, anger, sadness, fear, overwhelm, anxiety. Go in your little box. I'm just going to be happy and la 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 la. I can't hear you. That's toxic positivity. That's really bad for you. Don't do that. Healthy positivity sounds like, hey, I made space for my anger. I made space for my sadness. I made space for my fear and my overwhelm and my anxiety. And I sat with those things. I made friends with them and I reintegrated them and incorporated them. And I'm okay with them when they do show up. And most of the time, I feel really, really happy. And when one of those feelings occurs, it just kind of passes through like a storm cloud, like weather. That's what real positivity is and what real positivity feels like. And it comes through doing the work on ourselves, our trauma work, etc. That is why that has got to be part of what we're doing with delusional. I'm trying to help people get out of fight or flight state that like the entire world is trying to put you in and move into something that's a little more empowered, joy that comes from knowing yourself really, really well, being okay with whatever happens, being okay with feeling bad or scary or overwhelming things, being okay with being uncomfortable and returning to peace, returning to joy. Right? That's not spiritual bypassing because we're doing the work. We're doing the work to get there. But once we get there, what's on the other side is empowered. It's unstoppable, right? It's you can't scare me. There's nothing you can do to me to take my joy, right? That's powerful. And now imagine if we got a bunch of people in that state in a room together. Imagine what we could create. Imagine what we could do. That's what I'm trying to do with this. And sorry about these notes rattling around, but I can't do this for this long without notes. So that's what we're doing. All right. So on my notes, here we go. What's going on with Delusional? Well, first of all, it's a community that we're building. This was never supposed to just be me to you. That's the reason that it's an interview show to start with the podcast, right? I wanted to start to show people, hey, there really are people in the world who are positive, who are joyous, who are building, who are creative, who are visionaries, who are looking at things, seeing what they want to be different or better, and creating a different future and actually going for it and actually succeeding, and that have done amazing, amazing things from that standpoint. That is possible for all of these people that we've been interviewing on the show. It's been possible for me and in my life, and it is possible for all of you, anybody watching or listening to this, if you want to get into it. That's what Delusional is all about. And so we created a Facebook group, a Facebook community. It's a community. It's not a group, because a group is like just a bunch of people together. A community is a living thing, right? The community is developing itself. It is building itself. This is not, oh, Michelle says what we should do, so that's all what we're going to do. It's people are starting to really bring their own ideas and communicate with each other and create their own relationships. And that is what I want. I want a high vibe community. It is mostly entrepreneurs, but everybody's welcome. It's for people that are dreamers, for visionaries, people who want to be building what's next and building what's next together, and meeting other people that are in that mental space, that are in that vibe of like, yes, I don't want to get stuck in the bullshit. I want to build what's next. And here's what I'm working on. And here's how you can help. And oh, what are you working on? And how can I help? Right. And let's start to have those conversations. Right. So this is like the people who somebody says you can't do it and they go fucking watch me. Like, those are the people that are in the Delusional community. These are my people. I'm one of these people too. And I'm so excited to have us all together just ideating and strategizing and figuring out what we could come next. So it's, the people that are just like, fucking watch me, man. The frustrated builders. Like, who does not belong there are people who just want to come and dump about what they're stressed out about, what they're pissed off about. Like, they want to talk about what Trump is doing or whatever. I mean, we can talk about it, right? But if you're just there to be like, oh my God, everything's horrible and scary and I'm going to die, like, that is not the vibe. The vibe is like, no, 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 that can all stay at the door. There's enough of that. You can find that literally anywhere else, right? Let's build something different where you walk through the door and you're excited and you're inspired and you're encouraging, and we're building something cool together, right? It's going to be so much bigger than a Facebook community. That's just like the next step. So that's where the community lives right now. If you want to join us, there will be a link to join in the show notes. This is a movement, though. This is just like for people who refuse to participate in the despair, to get all contracted, to be all shut down all the time, who want to build, who want to create instead of consuming all the time, right? And we're building it in real time together. So if you join us, then you're getting to be a co-builder, right? And shape the future of this movement and the impact that it's going to make. So here's where it gets really fun, because we are going to start gathering people in person in DC starting this summer. I'm recording this in April. We will be starting in June. I will give you more details as more details come available. But I just want you to know, I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about that on the podcast, because the people that are involved in the community and the movement are helping to shape this in real time. Again, we are starting here in DC. DC needs some joy. We're going to bring some joy to DC. If you are local to DC or the DMV, you absolutely need to be getting on the list. You can go to delusionalmovement.com, sign up for the email list, sign up for updates, and get on there and join us in the Facebook group. If you are somewhere else and you're into this, join us too, because this will not stay in DC. That's spoiler alert. This isn't staying in DC. We're starting in DC and then we're going to expand it. So there's going to be some cool rooms. You're going to have to be able to find your way into them and see what happens. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be like nothing else happening in DC for damn sure. And I am really, really, really excited to share what starts to unfold as it starts to unfold. So like I said, if you want to join us, if you want to be in on this, join us in the Delusional Movement on Facebook, or go to delusionalmovement.com and just sign up for our email list, where you will start to get all of the updates. You can also follow me anywhere on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, fucking TikTok, at Michelle to Scale. You can DM me. I'm a real person. I'm not fancy enough that I've got other people dealing with my DMs. So you can talk to me directly if you want to do that. That's the whole ask. Get into the conversation with us. If you are a builder, if you are a visionary, if you are somebody who wants to create what's next and you want to create something that looks different than this techno feudalist nightmare that we're all kind of hurling toward, you want to come work with me and build that with me, please, please, please come join us in the delusional movement and let's start building this thing together. You can also just comment on this episode if you're watching on YouTube, leave a review, whatever, right? Carrier pigeon, I don't care. Just get in touch with me, get into it. I want to build this with you, right? So I am going to do this, by the way, whether 5 people show up to this or 50 million people show up to this, right? I want to be with these people, even if it's a tiny group of people. That's who I want to be with. I want to be with people who genuinely believe that we are in a moment where we're at a crossroads where if we work together, we could start to build something different and build something better and build something that is here for everybody and not just a few people and that wants to build that together. So if that's you, find us, get in touch, join us. We want to have you. And that's it. Thanks for being with me here today. Thanks for indulging me as I rattled my pages around and was nervous doing a solo episode. But I'm glad I got to tell you what was on my heart. And I really hope to see you and talk to you soon. So we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for listening.